I use Pledge, and you're a part of the thing. So I'm here, Girly Furniture. We're doing another kitchen, and I have to say, Norma is really cool on texting because we meet texting. That's Norma. And can you hit the lights? So we're going to do my system, 3-day kitchens, which is clean, or Norma keeps a very clean kitchen, as you can see. And we're going to put on 7 coats. And we were just discussing, like, these, paint your ugly brown cabinets is my kind of thing with Girly Furniture. But these have got to be the ugliest cabinets that I've ever seen, because I haven't seen this color before, I don't know if it's the house lighting, because they look peach, right?
They are peach.
But it's wood. Is it fake wood or real wood? It's peach, fake wood. Okay. So we're here at the kitchen, the peach kitchen, and 150 grit sandpaper. Get the Ryobi sander. Don't buy these triangle ones. I just use these like this, and then we're going. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna sand all. This is actually wood, and this is actually fake wood. So we're not gonna sand this. We could, but this is her kitchen is pretty clean. So we're just gonna sand the grime off the really tough places, like around here, right? Just so this is fake wood too. This is pressed wood. So we're going to just use this Kill spray primer to get a good coat of stick on this. So just sanding the wood. But I'm just sanding the wood, just the edges, because it's wood. And this, I'm just sanding the wood. I'm leaving this fake wood, and in this little areas where that it's dirty, real dirty, I'm going to use mineral spirits and clean it real well. So you can see, I just vacuumed the sand parts off. And then we're gonna use the mineral spirit and wipe down the entire door. Being careful, just to kind of not oversaturate the non-wood part. Here's some, because what'll be interesting is, like, once we clean it, right, then you can see how it has this. I don't want to sand all the fake wood, because then you have these little boogers, right? But once you clean it really well, but don't, just kind of wipe it down. It depends on how dirty the cabinets are. I mean, sometimes you might have to sand if the people are just disgusting, but these are pretty clean. So, after the first coat of primer, and we're going to spray primer these because they're fake wood first. After the first coat of primer, you'll see any buckets, little spots of grease. It'll tell you, and you'll just scratch them off. So cabinets tell you how to paint it, really. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to clean all these with mineral spirits, and I like to get this thick. And we sanded it all, and we're going to vacuum a little bit of it first, and then wipe it off. All right, so this cabinet had some junk on it, and I don't want to see all that sponge. I don't want to sand down this door because it's fake wood. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a rail blade and just kind of scrape it off. And you can just kind of use the face of the thing. I mean, it's the bottom cabinets are always dirtier than the top. So, and it's funny because once they have the white cabinets, people aren't going to leave their jelly stain on their brown cabinet bottoms, you know what I mean? The people start caring about their kitchen more. Anyway, so just a little tidbit. Girly Furniture hints. So of course my video turned off when I was spray primering these. So always have a like a cardboard on this side, and we're gonna
This is the really toughest area, so this is, even if I don't spray a lot of the cabinets, I do spray this sink area. It's very simple. We're going to just put a little tune on it.
But now that I see the primer on there, it's easier for me to visualize it.
I know.
It's dramatically, it's going to really brighten up the room.
Yeah. Well, and bring it into this century, and I know just the primer, and each step it gets better. That's why, like, you know, the handles and maybe like a light color in the back. I mean, it's just, or you wanted a backsplash, you know.
Right.
Now they have this wallpaper backsplashes, which are really cool, you know. So it's like $27, you know.
Well, I don't know, but I trust you on that.
They're all out of stock. I went to buy some, and they're all out of stock. All right, so now after we got the spray primer, I'm gonna use. So we're back here, the kitchen, and we're putting on the primer. First coat of primer after first spray primer, and then. So remember I told you they had kind of like deep grooves in here? So I'm just taking my little teeny Home Depot cheapy brush, which fits anywhere, by the way. This brush is just amazing. I couldn't live without this brush. I couldn't do kitchen. So I'm sticking that in a lot of paint in there first. And, you know, remember we still have 6 coats. We're on coat 2. We have 7 coats total. So, it actually does a really good job by putting the paint in there. And so, remember, the goal is just to keep this thing straight. And I see people paint. They like to do lots of strokes, like after the paint is already on and done. I mean, really, with the Rini roller, 2 strokes and you're done. So just kind of mimic what I'm doing, the planes, and then make sure you get the inside, because this is the primer, so we got to make sure that we get every place that we missed with the spray. Perfect. Door's doing great. Okay, so now that we did the spray primer and then the primer, and I'm using this little brush to get in the corners real quickly, because basically on 7 coats, this is coat 2. The small brush just to get the paint in these deep grooves, because we want to get them in the grooves on the first coat. So I love this small little brush. This is considered like this cheapy brush, but if I didn't have this brush, I couldn't finish a lot of kitchens. Because when you're keeping the doors up, which you have to, really, you need these little cheapy brushes sometimes. Right. So. So, before you get sidetracked, get all the paint on the doors, and get enough paint on there, right? And then maybe just do one square, and then get this the foam ring will get a smooth glass-like finish if you just apply it correctly, and it never fails. So we're going to get this angle. Oh.
If Charlie introduces himself to you, don't just say hi, say, "Hey Charlie," and then ask him, "Charlie, where's yours?" You get the idea. It's easier to remember if you say it out loud. Remember, you can catch up on all our Sunny Life online at Sunny98.
All right. So we're putting on the 3rd coat, which is the first coat of Behr Swiss Coffee Satin. And these work for any cabinets. You're getting a lot of paint in the crack. Remember, you get that with the Rini roller or this little brush that I have. If you use the Rini roller to get in the crack, it might tear. It does tear. This. Make sure you get the underneath there. Have a little rubber. And you my 220 quick sandpaper. It ain't rocket science, but people always kind of paint weird. Okay, so I get all the paint on the door, right? And the key to great painting is that last stroke. So it doesn't matter how messy you put on the paint, but it's the last stroke that, as you're building layers, that matters. And it's just perfect. A little bit there. Don't forget the edges, because we have to put 7 coats, so you don't want to be like on the last coat and the edge is on like coat 1, because down. So we're getting a great color because of the depth, because the amount of coats we're putting on too. Get this paint in here again. Seems a little bit of smoke on it still. Try to keep the brush in the paint so it doesn't dry out. Remember, we're just doing the doors because we didn't take down the doors. Like, can you imagine doing this in a sawhorse? Look how easy it is to get all the sides, get the sides.
Hear San Diego's greatest hits. Just say,
Alexa, play 98.1.
play 98.1 on radio.com.
Okay, once you get the paint on, you just very lightly, do it light, very light for us, just to get all the paint going in the exact same direction. Because the key is, if you layer the paint, not 7 coats, even if you're using a brush, you kind of like layer the brush on top of the brush on top of the brush on top of the brush, so you don't really see the brush strokes. Same with the weenie roller. Layering the weenie roller, you don't see the brush strokes. Right. How many minutes was that? We're 23 cabinets. We want to make sure we get the paint in that. My last coat, they're really light. And we don't have to cover, we're not covering every little spot, just as long as you make it smooth. Because we are building up the coats. So the next coat, it'll cover that spot better. So the goal is to just keep it smooth on every coat. And don't forget the bottom. So now we're on coat 4, and just another coat of the Marquee Swiss Coffee Satin, and looking very good. You know, put 7 coats on. Oh, I didn't do that door. Beep. We do that door, and just. Oh. All right, so we're on 4th coat. I think we're only going to need 6 coats. Alright. Alright, so we're on another coat of Behr Swiss Coffee Satin. I changed the foam weenie roller, so it's a new foam weenie roller. Even though we have to push a lot of paint still in the corners, I'm not going to do that on this one. I'm just going to do a quick coat on the top. The next coat, I'm going to use a brush around here. So a nice, good quality brush, which will get more paint into these corners.
Yours in particular is that color. This is spicy margarita and pepper. I love the
Right. Boom, boom. Now, right now, because this is all dried, it's California, it dries really quickly. Don't kind of roll the weenie roller into this dry paint. Just kind of keep it in the wet kind of area. So we get, again, the goal is to get a perfect finish. And we're on the way to that. So this weenie roller will give you a perfect finish, especially on baked wood. keep forgetting I have this like grippy thing right here. I gotta get that out.
So when Beth realized they were overpaying the insurance company they've been with for years, she and Larry thought they'd try another new thing, switching to USAA. USAA insurance made way better than Larry needed, with super knowledgeable agents who take the time to understand your coverage needs and help you find the savings you deserve. Switch and save with USAA insurance. Get a quote today at USAA.com/insurance. USAA, what you're made of, we're made for.
Alright, so you choose it smooth, less coat, do it lightly.
San Diego's reopening continues, and it's still in my friends at the furniture.
I feel like I'm whining a lot.
Furniture and safety products like acrylic partitions to promote social distancing. They can also reconfigure your existing space to keep employees and clients safe. Corporate responsibility is more important than ever. So visit Behr Furniture online or inside their massive showroom on Claremont Mesa and the 163. Your office is where you make it. Behr Furniture sells
Alright. We're cooking with gas now. Coat 4 is done. 2 more coats. That means I'm averaging like 40 minutes a coat. So 2 more coats is an hour and a half. I don't know, maybe I only need 1 more coat.
However, it makes total sense to bundle your own car insurance with Geico. You can save a lot.
The problem is, and this is my theory, is if you think you need another coat, if you're worried, just put 1 more coat and be safe because the lighting is all different at different times of the day in the kitchen. So, and in order to get that's my theory. So, 1 more coat ain't gonna hurt anything. It'll only help.
Arranging and dismantling decorative pillows on a bed makes no sense whatsoever.
So, California, it makes sense to switch to Geico.
You remember, we're doing just the doors, and first day we do all the doors. All right. Well, coat 4. 2 more coats. It looks beautiful. Alrighty, we're on coat 5. So I'm just gonna do the top one again. So you know, like we're doing the same thing. I did a pretty good job of getting it all in there. So this is just a straight shot. How you would do any cabinet. You can still use this sandpaper when you have paint on it. If you had a little spot, that's why I have paint on the sandpaper. All right. And then I have my brush. I want to make sure I get this part painted because tomorrow I'm painting all the insides. And alright, that's good. Alright, so now I'm going to do the bottom ones. You already saw me doing 3 coats, so you don't need to see the 5th coat. So I put it this way, and then on this edge I twirl it this way. I have to get a little paint off this drawer, there's too much. You never have too much unless it's like bread. Alright. Okay, I was true to my word. 7 coats. It looks like $1 million. The amount of coats you put on really kind of elevates it. So, back here at day 2 of 3-day kitchens. I'm exactly on time. It's 10:30. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you today?
Great.
Okay, Lulu.
So can you hit the lights? Your kitchen's very dark, huh? Alright, so they look good. This is day 2, so we try to get all of them done on day 1. And you can see I put on 5 coats, but it still needs a couple more coats. And so we're gonna like clean up the little areas and caulk and 2 more coats and then work on the inside. You know, and does that sound agreeable?
I'm sorry?
How's it look?
It's looking good so far.
Yeah. So I had to sand that off, you know, and still it was tough to sand through that many coats. Okay, so we're gonna just put some spray primer on there and spray it along. Oh, I have spray primer right here. Is there any left in this? Yeah. There we go. All right. Boom. That was a good one. Because we're putting 2 more coats on, so this is the chance you get to kind of fix things, you know? Like right here, I have this little bubble, and I have to get this with a razor blade. I don't want to show you that one. Oh, put a little on this one. There we go. All right. So I had quite a rip right there. I didn't see it. That doesn't happen. But of all the kitchen cabinets, I just had one. So I just seriously sanded that down. And I'm going to take the spray primer. First, I'm going to block it with this so I don't get the spray primer anywhere. And the spray primer is like 3 coats in one. All right. So this kitchen is a little rare because, you know, remember I told you that these grooves were deep, so I started to push a lot of paint in, and I fixed a lot of it, but I don't have, I can't really keep doing that because, you know, we have to get it perfect. So there's just a few spots right here, that I'm going to take the really thin, so let's see if I can see me. You get the really thin piece of caulk. There we go. And I just wet my finger. Alright, so that's good. We're gonna just fill in a few little areas, but of just the top cabinets, you know. Just have to, you know. Alright, so this is rare kitchen. This is only the 2nd kitchen in 1,000 kitchens, or maybe the 3rd kitchen, but I have to caulk. Because it just, I remember I said on the videos I was trying to push paint into there. Well, it didn't work. I mean, it did work, so it made for easy caulking. All right, so finally we're working on the inside, like I said. So I have them taped off, getting taped off. So the taping takes a little while. The inside, believe it or not, the insides take longer than the outside typically. But I had to put them both. But so the beanie roller, use your like arm to hold this. Don't use your finger. We're just gonna put 3 coats on the back of the door, 3 or 4. We don't put 6 or 7. So don't worry. And I don't even sand or prime the inside of the doors. Unless it's really skin, I might just go right at it with a primer. No one has ever just called me back complaining about anything, which is awesome. But, so then, this is the ugly front. So very quick, get all the edges. Alright, so remember this is Kill's primer, and usually we do two Kill coat of the primer on the doors, but in this brush that you get from the real cheap brush, this is a lifesaver because that's how we. You're like, how are you gonna take the door down? This brush can get anywhere. Trust me, I've gotten everywhere. Well, actually, there is a certain drawer I do. Alright. We're cooking with gas here. Oh, this drawer is kind of gross. And I told you I don't do the inside. I don't care about cleaning too much. The outside, my job. Alright, so we get the edge. Easy with the roller, just do it straight up. Sometimes it's take off, you know. And you know that we're going to be here for. It doesn't take as many coats on the frame. Like you get away with 5 because it's in shadow most of the time, you know. So, but maybe 6 depends how your particular cabinet. If it's wood, it can suck the paint out, but maybe not wood. So, alright, so get all this time. Right. So this 1/4 section cut. And it's really warm here today. It's like 80 in here or more, so things are gonna dry quick. Alright. Second coat on the inside. Alright. There we go. Alright, we're on the third coat over here. So, I can use just the brush if I want. Ripping like crazy over here. So, there's one little, this happens quite a bit with kitchens, is there's this one spot, one of these 2 spots in the whole kitchen that you could paint over that 100 times and it would never. So you always need your little kills because of just that point. I mean, literally, you could do 100 coats and it would never go away. I don't know if it's like wine spills right there, or how that works, but. But that's all you have to do. I don't have pills. I might not get it. Alright. So, coat 4. Don't shut the doors. Make sure you don't shut the doors. I usually give brush.
All needs cookies, baking in your oven, fresh outfits tumbling in your dryer, and afternoon snacks in your fridge. Pick the appliances you want with the Home Depot and save up to 40% on select appliances. Get an LG stainless steel kitchen package. Save almost $2,000. And
This will go a lot quicker because I'm done with the back side of the door.
free. Take the load to fall.
I did 3 coats on the back of the door.
More done. Free delivery on purchase of $390 with more gas rating extra valid for September 16th on US only.
Back to more variety from the 90s to now.
Alright, so you go through the kitchen and you see right here, there's this spot that sanding, cleaning, scraping didn't matter, didn't work. So what we have to do is just spray it with a little bit of spray primer and then paint over it. Perfect. Whew. I had a spray. It's a little bit of spray primer. Sorry. I opened the window a little. So there's always, not always, but when, you know how I don't take down the doors because that's the stupidest thing in the world to paint them. There's a spot on some kitchens that you cannot, the only way you can reach it is with your finger. And that's the spot right there. So because no one can really see it very much, but did I do it on this one? No, I need to get that one too. So use your finger. It's because it doesn't open. The microwave won't let you open it right there. So it's the only spot on the whole kitchen that I can't get to. People are like, take the doors down. Why? That's craziness. So you can see, it just looks beautiful. There's always going to be little teeny little things. I'm here on day 3, so I can kind of like fix it and make it like perfect. But it looks pretty. It looks really good. So anyone can paint it. There's no brush techniques. Okay, here. See, I'm taking the 220. I kind of messed up right here. I should have a brush with me. So I'm kind of like just gonna like spot it. Just like, but if you're gonna spot, you gotta like have the brush with you because you'll lose a spot. That's it. Okay, so that's what I'm gonna do now. I'm gonna spot check everything, and then you got the good handles. So, all right. So the satin, Behr Swiss Coffee Satin is beautiful. And the key to perfect cabinets for long-lasting beauty in your kitchen, even though they're white, is pledge. So we are really going to douse this with pledge. And depending how clean you are, I like to use these shop towels from Home Depot. Oop, get this. Depending how clean you are, because, you know, the only reason that kitchen cabinets work is you do not touch the cabinets. All right, so you can see I'm really pushing the pledge around. I don't even have enough on there. On this one we do. See all that pledge in there? Yeah, this is like silicone. It used to just say silicone right on the bottle. And now it has all the ingredients. And what silicone is it's a plastic polymer. So let's open this up, and with the wet cloths, pledge is your best defense. The wet cloth you just do the inside. Bam. Beautiful. I'm just going to let it dry out for a little second. And we just go right on to the next one. You know, on a very large kitchen, we might use this whole can of Pledge. Even though this one is actually full. 45% more. So you can see I'm really putting a lot of Pledge on there. And then just move it everywhere. You have like a lot of Pledge on there. Yeah. I've been using the same exact products for 15 years. So you just use the excess that's all over the rag, the Pledge, to wipe down the. And then, you know, people like paint kitchen cabinets, but they don't never tell you how to clean them. This spot right here, I can fix. Right. Oh, I sprayed this too. Okay, so let me get a new paper towel. You know, I never do this, so it's almost like you don't have to get any new paper towels. You just use the same paper towel, you know? I mean, because the point is to put on a lot, so. So I can tell that now. I learned something new today, since I never pledge. It's because I know that all my hard work with painting them will be kept clean, and the satin finish with the Pledge coating. And be careful because the floors will get slippery when you, after you paint, you put the initial full Pledge on, and then so I'm just covering all the doors, and then I'll use what's excess on this rag to like do the inside. And Pledge is your best defense against grime, or because everything will just fall on the Pledge. So, all right. So it's the perfect time. This is my favorite time. This is 3-day kitchens. The last step of 8 is Pledge. So they never give you a way to clean your kitchen cabinets with paint them. Well, I do. What we do when we're done is we coat the entire thing with Pledge. We're using the Behr Swiss Coffee Satin, and what Pledge is, it's silicone, and you used to say 15 years ago, you used to say silicone right on it. Don't be afraid by pretty much, because this is our first coat. We want a lot on it. Because then any of the, it gives the homeowners a way to clean the cabinets. And any of the kitchen gook, will go right on the Pledge. And then you just put a little Pledge on a paper towel and wipe it off. But when you do after you do your paint job and you do initial pledging, remember that it can get the wood floors really slick. Yeah. Really easy to do, and Pledge is your best defense with white cabinets. I really love the Pledge because usually I'm not here for the third day and the homeowners do it, but because I know the more Pledge I have put on, the more protection it's going to get against grime. And I've never had a client call me back because it does such a great job. Only for new kitchens I've had them call back. They're my family. So the kitchen's beautiful. It's done. Doesn't it look gorgeous?
Yes, it is beautiful.
The satin finish just gives you that really nice soft. I love that one thing. This soft look, like it looked like it's always been white. Once you get your handles on, doesn't it? It doesn't look like it's been. It looks like the kitchen's always been like this.
It's beautiful.
Yes.